You know that moment when you're stressed and your brain just buffers. You reread the same sentence 3 times. You walk into a room and forget why. That's not you being lazy or broken. It's your body running a stress program that changes how your brain gets fuel, attention, and memory. Stress is designed to help you survive short threats. But when it sticks around, it can make clear thinking feel strangely out of reach. The good news is, brain fog during stress often has patterns. And when you understand the patterns, you can test a few simple levers that might help. We'll talk about what's happening with stress hormones, blood sugar, sleep, breathing, and inflammation. We'll also cover why some productivity hacks backfire when your nervous system is already overloaded. If you've been blaming yourself for not thinking straight, let's replace that with a better explanation and a practical plan you can actually use. Moving to slide 2. Let's define brain fog in a useful way. It's not a medical diagnosis. It's a cluster of experiences. Slower thinking, poor focus, word-finding trouble, and that feeling of mental heaviness. During stress, your brain prioritizes speed and safety over nuance. That can look like tunnel vision, irritability, or blanking out. You might also notice decision fatigue. Small choices feel weirdly hard. Another common piece is working memory, the mental scratch pad you use to hold information for a few seconds. Stress can shrink that scratch pad, so multi-step tasks fall apart. And because stress can change sleep, appetite, and digestion, the fog can be amplified by basic physiology, not just thoughts. The key point is this: brain fog is often a signal that your system is overloaded. It doesn't mean you're incapable. It means your brain is adapting to a perceived threat. Next, let's look at the body's main stress pathway that drives these changes. Moving to slide 3. When stress hits, your body activates 2 big systems. First is the sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight response. Second is the HPA axis, a hormone pathway that ends with cortisol. Adrenaline and noradrenaline rise quickly. They increase heart rate and alertness. Cortisol rises a bit slower and helps mobilize energy, mainly by influencing glucose availability.
In a short burst, this can be helpful. You can react fast, you can push through. But if the alarm stays on, the brain starts making trade-offs. The prefrontal cortex, your planning, prioritizing, and impulse control center, tends to work less efficiently under high stress. Meanwhile, more reactive circuits become dominant. That's why you might feel jumpy, impatient, or stuck in worst-case thinking. It's not a character flaw. It's a shift in which brain networks are getting the most support. Understanding that shift helps you choose strategies that calm the system instead of forcing performance. Moving to slide 4. One of the biggest reasons stress feels like brain fog is attention narrowing. Under threat, your brain is built to focus on what's urgent, not what's complex. That can be great if you need to avoid danger. It's not great if you need to write, study, or plan. Stress also increases scanning for problems. You might notice you're checking messages more, rereading, or switching tasks. That's your brain searching for certainty. The cost is deep focus. Another cost is creativity, because creativity means a wider attentional field and a sense of safety. If you've ever felt like you can only do simple tasks when stressed, that's a real pattern. A practical takeaway is to stop judging your brain by its calm state standards. When stress is high, your best move is often to reduce cognitive load. Make tasks smaller, remove choices, use external memory, lists, timers, and checklists, so your working memory isn't doing all the lifting. Moving to slide 5. Now let's talk about energy, because your brain is expensive tissue. It uses a lot of glucose and oxygen. Stress hormones help make energy available, but they can also make your energy feel unstable. Some people get stress appetite loss.
Others crave quick carbs. Either way, you can end up with blood sugar swings, especially if you're skipping meals, living on coffee, or eating irregularly. When blood sugar dips, the brain can feel foggy, shaky, or irritable. When it spikes and crashes, you can feel tired and unfocused. This doesn't mean you need a perfect diet. It means your brain likes predictable fuel when you're under load. A simple experiment is to add a balanced snack before your hardest mental work. Think protein plus fiber and some carbs if you tolerate them well. Also, watch the coffee on an empty stomach pattern. For many people, it amplifies jitters and later fatigue. Moving to slide 6. Sleep is the silent multiplier of stress brain fog. Stress can delay sleep onset, fragment sleep, or cause early waking. And even 1 or 2 nights of poor sleep can reduce attention, working memory, and emotional regulation. Deep sleep and REM sleep matter for different reasons. Deep sleep supports physical restoration and immune balance. REM sleep supports emotional processing and memory integration. When stress cuts into either, the next day can feel like you're thinking through cotton. There's also a feedback loop. Poor sleep increases cortisol reactivity, which makes stress feel bigger, which then makes sleep harder. If you want one high-leverage place to start, it's protecting a wind-down routine. Keep it simple. Dim lights, reduce intense problem-solving late, and give your brain a predictable off-ramp. If racing thoughts hit, try writing a short worry list and one next action. The goal is containment, not perfection. Moving to slide 7. Breathing sounds too simple, but it's one of the fastest ways to change your nervous system state. Under stress, breathing often becomes shallow and fast. That can lower carbon dioxide levels too much, which may increase sensations like dizziness, tingling, and mental unreality for some people. It also signals danger to the brain. Slower breathing, especially with longer exhales, tends to support parasympathetic activity, the rest and digest side. You don't need a complicated method. Try this. Inhale gently through the nose for about 4 seconds. Then exhale for about 6 to 8 seconds. Do that for 2 to 5 minutes. The point isn't to force relaxation. The point is to give your brain evidence that the emergency is not immediate. If you're in a high-pressure moment, even 3 slow breaths can reduce the stress spike enough to think more clearly. Moving to slide 8. Another overlooked driver of brain fog during stress is muscle tension and reduced movement. When you're stressed, your body braces, jaw tightens, shoulders rise. You sit longer and move less. That changes circulation, breathing mechanics, and even how much sensory input your brain gets from the body. Gentle movement can act like a reset signal. It doesn't have to be a workout. A brisk 10-minute walk, a few flights of stairs, or light mobility can increase alertness and improve mood. Studies often show that regular exercise supports cognitive performance and stress resilience over time, though the best type is the one you can repeat. One caution: if you're already depleted, intense training can feel like more stress, so match the dose to your state. If you feel wired and restless, you might tolerate more intensity. If you feel exhausted and heavy, choose gentler movement and sunlight exposure. The goal is to shift state, not to punish yourself. Moving to slide 9. Let's talk about inflammation, because chronic stress can nudge the immune system. Stress doesn't automatically mean you're inflamed, but prolonged stress is associated in research with higher inflammatory signaling in some people. Inflammation can affect neurotransmitters, sleep quality, and energy, which can feel like fog. This is also why brain fog can show up alongside gut issues, frequent colds, or body aches when stress is relentless. The practical angle is not to chase supplements first. Start with the basics that influence inflammation: sleep, regular meals, movement, and recovery time. If you want a simple food principle, aim for more fiber and colorful plants, plus adequate protein. Hydration matters too, because even mild dehydration can worsen fatigue and concentration. And if alcohol is part of your stress coping, it can worsen sleep architecture and next-day clarity. None of this is about being perfect. It's about reducing the background load so your brain has room to think. Moving to slide 10. A big mental trap during stress is trying to think your way out with more pressure. You make stricter plans, you add more tools, you demand more discipline. But stress already reduces cognitive bandwidth. So the plan that works is often the plan that removes friction. Use a minimum viable day. Identify one must-do task and define what done looks like in a small, concrete way. Batch communication into set windows so you're not constantly context switching. Build in short recovery breaks before you feel fried. 2 minutes of breathing, a glass of water, or a quick walk. Also, externalize memory. If it's in your head, it's competing with everything else. Put it in a note. Stress also makes time feel weird, so use simple time boxes, like 25 minutes of focus and 5 minutes off, to create structure without overthinking. This is how you work with your biology, not against it. Moving to slide 11. Sometimes brain fog is also a social and emotional signal. Stress can increase vigilance, and your brain may treat social evaluation like danger. That can make meetings, conflict, or even texting feel mentally draining. If you notice fog spikes around people, it may be your nervous system bracing. One helpful tool is to add safety cues. Slow your speech slightly. Unclench your jaw. Drop your shoulders. These are small signals that tell your brain, we're okay. Another tool is naming the state. Silently labeling "I'm stressed" can reduce the swirl and bring you back to the present task. If you can, shorten exposure to high-conflict inputs when you're already taxed. And if you're carrying ongoing stress from caregiving, finances, or uncertainty, consider support that reduces the load, delegation, clearer boundaries, or talking with a professional. The goal is not to toughen up. It's to create conditions where your brain can function. Moving to slide 12. It's important to say this clearly. Not all brain fog is just stress. Stress can be a major contributor, but similar symptoms can show up with anemia, thyroid issues, sleep apnea, depression, anxiety disorders, long COVID, perimenopause, medication side effects, or nutrient deficiencies. If your fog is new, severe, progressively worsening, or paired with red flags like fainting, chest pain, severe headaches, or neurological symptoms, it's worth getting medical evaluation. Also, pay attention to duration. If you're doing the basics, sleep, food, movement, hydration, and nothing changes over weeks, that's another reason to check in with a clinician. The point isn't to scare you, it's to keep you accurate. Stress physiology explains a lot, but it's not the only story. A smart approach is to treat stress-related fog like a hypothesis. You test supportive habits, and you also stay open to other causes. That combination is how you get real clarity. Moving to slide 13. Let's pull this into a simple, realistic reset plan you can try for a week. First, stabilize fuel. Eat something with protein and fiber within a consistent window, and avoid running on caffeine alone. Second, protect sleep. A repeatable wind-down and a consistent wake time helps more than perfection. Third, use breathing as a switch. 2 minutes of longer exhales before your hardest task. Fourth, move daily. 10 minutes counts, especially outdoors if you can. Fifth, reduce cognitive load. One priority, time boxes, and write everything down. If you do these 5 things, you're not fixing stress. You're lowering the physiological noise so your brain can do its job. Track one metric, mental clarity from 1 to 10, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. That gives you feedback without obsessing. If you want to keep going, build the habits that gave you the biggest return. And if you've been dealing with this alone, share your experience. What helps you more, sleep improvements or breathing breaks? Leave A or B in the comments. And if you want more practical, body-based explanations like this, subscribe. This information is not a substitute for medical advice.